Be warned. Today's mantra is a little profane, even for me. Put in your earphones. Children, put on your earmuffs. MK's here to speak. Anchor really is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you why we use it for the morning mantra. It's free. It comes with built-in creation tools that allow us to record and edit our podcast right from the palm of our hand in our tablets or on our computers. Anchor distributes the podcast for us so that it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and many more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. No fancy studios or training required, just your unique voice. Did I mention it's free? 'Cause it is. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. When my cousin, whose legal name is in fact Bubba, is telling you how to behave, you ain't winning. Hi, this is Coach MK, and this is the Morning Mantra. Hi, my name is MK Fleming. I'm a run coach based in Denver, Colorado. But this isn't a podcast about running exactly. Don't tell my clients, but we're never really talking about the running. When you know a craptastic event is coming, it helps to have a mantra to keep you centered and focused as you move through it. You don't have to be an athlete to be #coached and loved by Coach MK, and if you are here, then you are #winning at life. Today's mantra is, don't shit where the cows eat. Don't shit where the cows eat. Last night I got an email from my husband, my lovely, gorgeous, wonderful husband. Over the weekend, he had volunteered to referee a rugby game, and a referee coach was present. We referenced this in a live stream last month. It's one of the cooler aspects of rugby, how they invest in their volunteers and try to improve them. In my professional opinion as a physician, Alex needs to lose some weight. That was it. That was it. That was his performance review on a card for everyone to see. This isn't a private message. This is in his file that is emailed to all of his seniors and is pretty much available for anyone to see. This is their response to a volunteer who loves this sport so much. I rearranged my weekend on the worst weekend possible for me professionally and paid a sitter to take my kids to watch Daddy volunteer his time, our family time, my work time, during the only period of the week when I have a backup parent present, and was reminded once again, formally, in a performance review for the public to see, that he is great at his job, but too fat to be really good at his job. I was apeshit then. I'm still mad now. My husband insists that rugby is a sport that welcomes fat people. I hold my tongue while he waxes poetic about the sport. I get that he loves it, but I don't care why. His performance review is a pretty clear signal of what rugby actually values, that they do not love him back. The things we love should love us back. To hear him tell it when he walked into a room of rugby players for the first time, they got excited. You're going to be a great forward, they told him. You're born to be a prop. You see, to do the heavy pushing around, you need heft. You need size. Rugby is a game of possession. And forwards, the props, the fat guys, they control possession. They control the ball. They define the game. The fat guys matter. Rugby needs them. Sounds great, right? And it's true to a point. There are two kinds of rugby, 7s and 15s. In 15s, you need at least 7 300-pound guys to make the other 7 small ones on the field do anything. This year, rugby was admitted as an Olympic sport. Rugby 7s, to be specific. You know the difference between 7s and 15s? There are no props, no forwards, no fat people in 7s. Forwards do the work. They define the game because this is a sport of possession. But they do not get to go to the Olympics. Fat guys do the work. Skinny guys take the credit. That's the narrative of rugby, as I see it. It is not remotely controversial. That's just rugby. My husband doesn't even disagree with this. When you walk into a room of rugby players, you look around and you know your place. Like so much else in life, your place is predetermined by your size. Alex would make a terrific forward, but only a good referee. Referees need to be fit enough to keep up with the skinny guys. They move faster, it's just a given. I don't know if you heard, but they get to go to the Olympics. In a game of possession, where possession is controlled by the larger people, the discussion is not centered around them, and I am not okay with that. In Berlin over the weekend, 3 running influencers who happened to be fat were ecstatic to be there. And had I not been up to my neck in October videos and rugby, I would have followed them a little more closely. It's probably better that I didn't. When Coach Sarah casually asked if I had seen a certain Instagram story that broke her heart, I went apeshit again. These people had been invited to Berlin to help promote the marathon. No one was more excited to be there than they were. These influencers who encourage participation in our sport, representing underrepresented groups, whose mere presence makes everything better, expressed concern before they left about the 6-hour time limit. They were assured by everyone in charge that this would not be a problem, that they would get medals, that they could use sidewalks, that they would be allowed to finish. This promise was not kept. This is running, y'all. Not only can you qualify for Boston and be shut out, you can finish a marathon and still not get a medal. I will never be convinced that rugby is truly an accepting place for fat people until I see actions at the top that align with that idea and people backing my husband up when shit like this happens. Rugby makes my husband happy, though, so I will not directly tell the rugby union to go fuck themselves. Or that physician in particular, that in my professional opinion, he's a goddamn asshole who has no business practicing medicine. There's nothing I can do to make a difference there, though. Nothing's going to move the needle. Running, though, that's different. I'm a small woman with a big mouth and a growing platform. And I don't know if you heard, but we don't pay Coach Sarah yet, or Chrissy, or Kara the Wayfinder, or her sister, who clearly likes working for free and thought that sounded like a great thing to do with her time. And now, I'm mad. I'm mad doing mad. I was so mad, first thing I did was get in a Google spreadsheet and ask myself, if my mouth wrote a check, would my ass be able to cash it? And would I be able to sell this to all the people that are working for free right now? I can't make anyone do right. But there are a whole bunch of people working for free right now trying to make real change happen in the running world, bring real support to those who need it most. And in case I'm not clear, and I do hate it when I'm subtle, I hear I do that sometimes, the people who need the support the most are the ones who are least able to get it. Y'all, they ain't at the front of the race. I'm not ready to run my mouth yet, but I'm close. If you're listening to this podcast and have finished a race, but were told you were too late to receive an official finish time and or a medal, if you have registered for those races knowing the shirts offered will be too small because they only offer up to women's extra large, if you still participate knowing there's a chance you could finish with neither shirt nor medal, I see you now. I am sorry it took me so long to get here. I'm sorry I didn't see you sooner. I'm sorry I did not validate you sooner. Excuse me while I determine my best next step. So while my mouth is shut and I'm doing math, know that my ears are open. If you're one of those runners I just described, even if you do not train with me, if you know people who fit that description, tell them about this. Have them email info@fitnessprotection.com and tell me, Coach MK, about your experience. I promise I'm not going to lambast the race. I'm not going to call people out. I can't make them do right. But I can do right by you. I can make this sport a safer place for my athletes. I just need a little more data before I open my mouth. So, the mantra. If you were visiting my cousin Bubba, he lives with his granny, y'all, and walked out the back door towards the outhouse, he'd tell you, don't shit where the cows eat. And I think that's advice that race directors and rugby unions could benefit from. If you want to be smarter than my cousin Bubba, then you need to act like it. And just in case I was being subtle again, I don't know how that happens, but evidently it does. Guys, you're failing to meet the Bubba benchmark.
You are coached, you are loved, and you are winning at life. And you are definitely winning at life if you subscribe to my Nuzzlenut newsletter, follow me on Facebook, or follow me on Instagram. Feel free to do all three.